All right, y'all, we are back with another video. I definitely had to bring y'all this one. It seems like President Trump and Pam Bondi is not playing with JB Pritzker, aka JB Peanut Butter Pritzker, pretty much trying to, get this app that can track ICE agents, pretty much putting their life in danger. And not only that, even Kash Patel came out and said he is sick of it, and that they're going to go after these Democrats that's trying to, endanger these ICE officers and stuff like that. And not only that, Stephen A. Smith, here he go again, running his mouth, making it seem like President Trump going after people in the NBA, which the fact that he don't, because it was a gambling situation, they got caught doing pretty much, and that's what Kash Patel stepped in at. And then you get Stephen A. Smith just pretty much telling everybody that, oh, Donald Trump is coming after the WNBA next, instead of him just admitting that President Trump is getting them because of the crimes. He ain't going after people just to be going after people. And that's right there is the stuff that I be talking about right there. And not only that, Greg Gutfeld just absolutely goes off on the Democrats. We definitely about to dive straight into it. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. And shout out to the one that always watches the entire video. And let me know in the comment section that you did stay to the end, because it definitely helps get the video out there. Like I said, subscribe if you're new, hit that like button. And let's go ahead and dive straight into it. Now, let's just start right here just for a second. They say breaking in an incredible gesture. President Trump reveals that the unanimous billionaire who is paying the troops during the shutdown has officially sent a check for $130 million. Wow. I definitely had to start the video off letting y'all know about this. And listen to President Trump saying this.
And a friend of mine, talking about donors, a friend of mine, a man that's great. I'm not going to use his name unless he lets me do it. Susie can tell you about this, but he called us the other day and he said, I'd like to contribute any shortfall you have because of the Democrat shutdown. I'd like to personally contribute any shortfall you have with the military, because I love the military and I love the country, and any shortfall, if there's a shortfall, I'll contribute it. And today he sent us a check for $130 million.
Can you share who that is?
I would love to tell you. He doesn't really want the recognition, if you want to know the truth, but he gave us a check for $130 million.
Wow.
Which was sort of a shortfall, yeah. And it's going to go to the military, yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. That is amazing, and I can understand that this guy don't want his name out there, want people trying to look him up and all that type of stuff. So I just remain unanimous. But that right there is amazing, to send that much money, $130 million to pay the troops. That is absolutely amazing. So I definitely wanted to share that with y'all. Now, let's get on over here to this, because now JB Pritzker is pretty much under investigation now, because I released a video earlier today, pretty much letting y'all know that he's, doubling down on this, about this, trying to track ICE. And you got Letitia James talking about people made to send photos in of ICE agents. I mean, just all type of crazy weird stuff. So check this out. Say breaking: AG Pam Bondi announces investigations into Illinois Governor JB Pritzker, Lori Lightfoot, and others for targeting ICE agents. Lightfoot is being immediately obstructed to preserve all documents related to her actions. Let's go.
JB back ribs Pritzker, they're doxing, they're telling people the whereabouts of ICE agents. Is that legal?
No. And Jesse, first time I've seen the Lori Lightfoot video is just now on your show. She will be getting a letter from us tomorrow to preserve anything that she's done, as well to make sure that she's not violating the law. It appears she is. You cannot disclose the identity of a federal agent, where they live, anything that could harm them. Pritzker, same ball game with him. And Pelosi got a letter today from Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche.
Wow.
So did Brooke Jenkins, that DA in San Francisco. We told them, preserve your emails, preserve everything you have on this topic, because if you are telling people to arrest our ICE officers, our federal agents. You cannot do that. You're impeding an investigation, and we will charge them if they think they have not met me, because we will charge them if they are violating the law. We will protect our federal agents. They're out there working nonstop, as you're showing right now during a shutdown. These people are out there working to keep Californians safe, yet you've got Pelosi out there saying to obstruct their investigation. You can't do it, and we're going to investigate her now, as well as that DA. And Pritzker's on the list too, Jesse.
Wow, Pritzker on the list, Pelosi's on the list. That right there is an absolute bombshell from Pam Bondi. She said she is tired of playing around, because now you get people like Hakeem Jeffries, you get these type of people, they think that because they Democrats that they can just get away with everything. And like I said, that right there is just coming to an end. Like, that right there is just not going to happen. Look at this. Just a casual $500 million now investing alongside, because if you can't beat them, join them. So now you see this woman here is under investigation. I mean, just saying some crazy stuff, man. Oh, man. So now this right here, run Kash Patel out and say, just in, FBI Director Kash Patel promises to arrest anyone who endangers immigration agents, lives by doxing their location on tracker apps. Check it out.
To these application companies and have these apps actually deleted and permanently removed. That's the immediate solution. But if these people continue to endanger the lives of law enforcement, you bet this FBI is going to chase every single one of them down. No one is allowed to touch a cop on my watch, and no one's going to touch a cop on our watch. And on the off chance that they do or participate in a scheme via an app or otherwise that does so, they will find themselves in handcuffs, just like so many of those that have tried to hurt law enforcement in the past. But now law enforcement is so well respected thanks to President Trump's leadership and the establishment of this Homeland Security Task Force. The American people are seeing what cops can do when you let them be cops.
Wow. So obviously you can see Kash Patel is not playing around. Pam Bondi is not playing around. Now look at this clown, baby back ribs, peanut butter, JB Pritzker. Look at this. Holy smokes, Fox just embarrassed the governor of Illinois. Let's check this out.
Chicago have the highest murder rate of all the big cities.
Well, we are not in the top 30 in terms of our murder rate. Indeed,
well, the
our murder rate it has been cut in half over the last 4 years, and every year it's gone down by double digits.
That's a lie.
And if you look at all of the violent crime over the last 4 years,
here's a map.
You see how he's sitting up there telling a lie? See, this is what I'm talking about. I've said this numerous of times. This is the reason why Democrats stay away from Fox News. This is the reason why, because when Fox News calls them out, they're going to put up evidence. They're going to show you that you're lying. When they go over there to CNN, like when Pritzker be over there on CNN, ABC, they ain't going to do that, because they know he lying, but they going to allow it because they hate President Trump. So now you see that he just put up the map proving that Chicago has the most high murder rate. We already knew that, and he's still up here lying about it. Let's go.
Chicago have the highest murder rate of all the big cities.
well, we are not in the top 30
That's a lie.
In terms of our murder rate. Indeed,
the murder
our murder rate it has been cut in half
No,
over
it's
the last
not.
4 years, and every year it's gone down by double digits.
No, it's not.
And if you look at all of the violent crime over the last 4 years,
here's a map.
they've all gone down.
U.S. cities, 17.47 per 100,000 population. Chicago is number one over Philadelphia, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Phoenix, Los Angeles, New York, and San Diego.
What I'm explaining to you
Now,
is
you're
when
talking
you want to
about
fight
violent
crime. Look, you can pull statistics up.
No,
I can
these are
too.
murders.
I'm explaining to you that our murder rate has been cut in half.
No, it's
and
not.
Very importantly, Brett, and you got to hear this.
So he gonna sit up here and lie. So he trying to ignore the map that shows that he's lying, and he's still sitting here lying. This is who we dealing with. This man sitting up here lying after he just showed him the map. Like, Brett just showed him the map, and he's gonna still look at this man and lie.
Murders.
I'm explaining to you that our murder rate has been cut in half.
Oh, my
and
God.
Very importantly, Brett, and you got to hear this. Very importantly, we've been doing the things that are necessary to bring crime down. Right?
You ain't
We've
been doing
invested in
nothing.
Community violence interruption.
No, you have not. The only thing that instead of trying to bring crime down, y'all been targeting President Trump. Every time you have a press conference, like anytime this man go on a show or have a press conference, go on ABC, what do JB Pritzker talk about? Donald Trump. He never say anything about. He never have an interview talking about we trying to bring crime down. Me and Mayor Brandon Johnson, we trying to bring crime down. We know that it's at an all-time high. He's not talking about that. Every time this man get an interview, all he talk about is Donald Trump. That's it. Every last interview he talks about Trump. And he literally sent up here lying when Brett just put a map up there, and he pretty much still called Brett a liar. But then, like I said, it didn't stop there. So Illinois Governor Pritzker said that ICE agents are literally grabbing and tackling people who are citizens. My God.
No one in Washington, no one above them, no supervisor, no inspector general is holding anybody accountable. There literally haven't been any suspensions or firings for the terrible things that they've done, literally grabbing people, tackling them when they're U.S. citizens and have done zero
You've
wrong.
referred to ICE as Kristi Noem's thugs. Would you be willing to do a ride-along with ICE in Chicago to get a better understanding about what they do and what they deal with?
I can see what...
Now, see, he don't want to ride with it. He said, I can see. So instead of him to take that ride, because he know he's going to get exposed. So he don't want to take the ride with ICE. He just want to say, I can see. This dude's a clown, man. All he want is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. With extra jelly.
They do on the streets of Chicago. And
Are there any ICE agents that are good? ICE agents that are good?
Of course. The problem is who's holding the bad ones accountable? Because the bad ones, frankly, are the ones that we're seeing all the time. And then you have Bovino on Fox News saying, oh, they're very professional. They're doing everything by the book.
Why does Chicago have the highest murder rate?
He know why they got it. But it don't stop there. Let's turn it over to old Gavin Newsom. Did y'all know that Gavin Newsom just blamed President Biden, former President Biden, over this illegal that pretty much killed 3 individuals on the interstate that was driving a truck that got CDL permits. So let's get to this right here. So they say that, holy crap, Gavin Newsom's California gave 62,000. Think about this. Gave 62,000 CDL permits to illegal aliens and migrants to drive commercial vehicles. This is outrage.
A federal audit found California had issued 62,000 CDLs to drivers who entered illegally, John, or do not have a permanent legal status as required by the feds. California sanctuary laws prohibit asking applicants their immigration status. Governor Newsom said there's not a problem. Back to you.
Did I hear you right? Did you say 62,000?
That's correct.
62,000.
Federal audit.
William Lajeunesse for us.
Wow, that's what I'm saying. 62,000. This is insane. So look at this. Just then, Gavin Newsom blames the Biden administration for letting Indian illegal alien Jashanpreet Singh drive a semi-truck in California and ultimately kill several people in a crash this week. No, it is on both Gavin for the CDL and Biden for letting Singh in. The federal government approved and renewed this individual's federal employment authorization multiple times, which allowed him to obtain a commercial driver license in accordance with federal law, Gavin office said per Fox. So let's scroll on down by Eric Dawes. As Bill points out, this person's federal work permit would have been approved under Biden because illegal aliens can apply for work authorization 6 months after making their asylum claims. Then we get here to say, breaking in a statement to Fox News, California Governor Office acknowledges that Indian illegal alien truck driver Jashanpreet Singh, charged with killing 3 in a DUI crash in Ontario on Tuesday, has a California CDL but points the finger at the feds. I mean, my God, bro. I mean, just reading this, it just pisses you off. It just pisses you off. But points the finger at the feds for giving him a work permit. This work permit would have been approved by the Biden administration, as illegal aliens can apply for work authorization 6 months after making their asylum claim. He crossed the border illegally in March of 2022 and was released into the U.S. by the Biden administration with a future immigration court date. So I guess this right here is supposed to come from what Gavin Newsom is saying. This is a tragic situation, And as with every tragedy over the last 10 months, Secretary Newsom has ordered Secretary Duffy to look for every opportunity to manipulate the facts to score cheap political points. But the federal government needs to look within before they cast blame outside. The federal government approved and renewed the individual federal employment authorization multiple times, which allow him to obtain a commercial driver license in accordance with federal law. Would refer you to the California Transportation Agency, who can further assist your inquiry. So, I mean, just stuff like this is just insane. Like I said, I'm not going to show the video of what happened. But now you see that Gavin Newsom blames the Biden administration for letting this guy drive a semi-truck in California. But like I said, it's on Gavin Newsom, because now he's trying to cover his own tail and just blame it on Biden. It's on him and Joe Biden. So let's turn the tables here. This is another segment that I want to get into real quick, and then I'll show y'all what Kash Patel said to Stephen A. Smith, because like I said, it was some find out about some illegal gambling going on, and obviously Kash Patel came out and spoke on it, on why he went after I think it was like a coach and an NBA player. And Stephen A. Smith, instead of him just being honest about what they, allegedly did, he just wanted to make it seem like Donald Trump is just going after the NBA because some of the players don't like him. See, and that's the energy Stephen A. Smith does. He does this crap. Just put out lies. So let's check out what he said right here.
Remember when he said, fire all those sons of you-know-what? So offensive to the NFL, even Jerry Jones took a knee. Remember all the protests and all the things that were being said and how you had to get him out of office? Bring up the WNBA. Why? Magnificent, marvelous, athletic women doing their things, very articulate, very intelligent, very outspoken. He's not stopping.
You see that? That's what I'm talking about. Donald Trump is not stopping. So he's just making it seem like Donald Trump is just going after people like he's on a revenge tour or something. So Stephen A., he's not being honest with himself. Instead of saying that these people did wrong and President Trump has the right to go after him or whatever the case may be, he ain't doing that. He's brainwashing his audience, just making them believe that Donald Trump is doing this just because he feel like doing it.
Because in his eyes, he's only got a year. Because if the GOP doesn't win, then who knows? I don't know if we have ever in our lifetime been in the midst of a sports environment like the one we are going to be forced to embrace over the next year. Because he has no intentions of stopping.
This dude is a clown, man. This is crazy.
All I'm telling you is what I've been told.
What you've been told.
Don't kill a messenger.
Oh, so now he's on here talking about what somebody told him, not what he know, what somebody told him.
I talk to everybody because I want to hear the information.
You talking to Democrats. They're going to tell you that.
And when this came down the pike, that's what I was told. He's coming. It was an abuse of power in his eyes, Stephen. And he's remembering everybody. I find it disgusting. I find it heinous.
Oh, you really do?
Inexcusable.
Oh, really?
And beneath the office of the presidency and our politics and everything in between.
Oh, really? You find it disgusting. Oh, wow.
And I'm fully aware that this was being negotiated, or I'm not negotiated, but investigated over the last couple of years. I got that. But it
so you pretty much just admitted that Joe Biden, the one who started this. So since it's coming back up, you want to blame Donald Trump for it. So y'all realize this? He said, I understand it started a year or two ago, which means that would have been Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So since it's been picked back up, now it's Donald Trump's fault. Where was this little message? You see this little message that he got going on that he's saying right now? Why didn't he say that when Joe Biden first started it? Why didn't he post this video? oh, he waited till Donald Trump got elected. Then when it got brought back up, oh, it's just disgusting what Donald Trump is doing. It's just disgusting. I told you, Stephen A. Smith is just two-faced it.
Happening now in a manner in which it's going down to the point where you're aware that this was being negotiated, or I'm not negotiated, but investigated over the last couple of years. I got that.
Oh, you got that. So why you blaming Trump
But
then?
it's happening now in a manner in which it's going down to the point where the
God.
FBI director is in attendance. That's pomp and circumstance, ladies and gentlemen. That's flexing. That's sending a message that this is just the tip of the iceberg. That's telling you they got more coming down the pike and that they have no intention of stopping.
You do know Joe Biden them and Kamala Harris them had no intention of stopping when they had Donald Trump in cold courtrooms, when they had Letitia James going after them. I mean, who else? Jack Smith, Alvin Bragg. You had all of these people going after President Trump, and they were not stopping. If Donald Trump if he would have lost, he would probably be in prison right now because they was trying to put him in there.
That is what's going on. And folks got to buckle up.
Stephen A. Smith is just a disgrace, bro. So, when it comes to Kash Patel, he kind of just kept it like short and sweet. He didn't even really say too much. So it's a breaking. FBI Kash Patel fires back at Stephen A. Smith, claiming the NBA gambling buzz was revenge from President Trump for the NBA's left-wing activism.
Yeah, down the street. By the way, this was so wild. Stephen A. Smith, the sports commentator, suggested that this was revenge from the president for all the kind of left-wing activism of the NBA. Your response to that, 15 seconds.
I'm the FBI director. I decide which arrests to conduct and which not to conduct. That may be the single dumbest thing I've ever heard out of anyone in modern history, and I live most of my time in Washington, D.C. It's right up there with Adam Schiff. We arrest people for crimes.
He said, we arrest people for crimes, not because of no freaking revenge that he's talking about.
And also, this whole narrative, we're supposed to pretend that they weren't ugly before, that now they're going to get mean. Mm-hmm. They've been calling us everything in the book, Nazis, Hitlers, authoritarians, autocrats, you name it, as if that now the gloves are going to come off. No, the gloves have been off forever. You're down to bone right now. Mm-hmm. I'm beginning to think that the Dems have like this transient amnesia because they forget that just 6 weeks ago, their narratives of demonization got a young man killed. They know that. I mean, it's like people got it. It's like, this is a person trans adjacent who believed that because Trump was, that Charlie Kirk was seen as transphobic, he deserved to die. So, maybe do we now just play a game where we out-demonize each other? I don't want to do that. So we're ready to stop. So a good exercise is if you feel slightly guilty over your behavior, try not to do it. And then, like, if you have that urge to say Hitler or Nazi, let it pass. There'll be this mental space that will show up. And then maybe if you're Gavin, you can go, what might come next? It might be a thought. I know it's going to feel weird. It's going to be heavy and hard because you've never had one before. And you're going to go, wow, I could actually say something of substance. And you're right about the eligibility for heaven. This is a party that was okay with mutilating kids in the name of identity politics. You can't let that's satanic, literally satanic.
They're Nazi.
So like I said, y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this. Thank you all for watching, especially the ones that made it to the end. I'm going to try my best to keep y'all up to date with everything that's going on. But as you can see, Pam Bondi just dropped a bombshell on peanut butter baby back JB Pritzker. Now they're under investigation, pretty much trying to, dox ICE and their family and stuff like that. So like I said, I will keep y'all up to date as more information comes out. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.